So, how does everyone feel about the Xbox One?
Yeah.
And or the fallout from it?
Xbox, go home.
Xbox should not go home.
Well, I think like now that like a lot of the rage has settled and like things have become a little bit more rational.
No, they haven't.
Yes,
No.
they have.
They have not.
They've become a little bit more
Not by
rational.
any one way.
Like, remember when like it first happened? It was like that huge flurry of like random.
Quick, I got something.
That huge flurry of like random information and like crazy shit.
You're talking about before it even came out, all the rumors and stuff,
No,
right?
like the moment, because like they had such bad like people not keeping their mouths shut about anything.
Well, yeah, but it was all still technically rumors.
Rumors and rumors and stuff. And there was such like outrage and like all that. And now it's more so like, especially when the internet has settled down.
I don't think it's settled down at all.
No, I think so.
I think it's still
No,
going
because
strong.
people
Are
are so
still
excited.
laughing at them.
Yeah, people are so excited for the next batch of shit at E3. So they're just getting ready.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's going to be telling lies at E3, but that's part of it.
I don't think
Microsoft says that. How about fucking like Major Nelson coming out on those videos and going, "Listen, you know, you heard the rumors. You all think that used games will not work on the console. That is not something that we had said. That is." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? The rumors and misinformation came from your reveal. Nobody made these things up afterwards. You said them, and then you're telling us now that we misinterpreted it. Maybe you should have been more clear. And like, their used game scheme is something like you get a disc and you put it into the console and put the serial code. So it's like a PC game right now.
Yeah.
You install it, and then the disc is no good anymore unless your friend also buys a new code.
Like something like that.
So it's
I don't
like an
think-
And then
online
it's like,
pass,
what's
but
the
for
point
the
of the
entire
CD?
game.
Why not just make a completely
Digital
only console?
Like, when I was a kid, I thought that was cool because of World of Warcraft. I was like, I don't have to have the disc no more because I lose those. But now it's...
How do you lose a disc? Like, to me, discs are sacred. Like, I can't get a digital download. I need the
Because I
physical
was
disc.
10
You see,
and I can
I'm
do
the
what
opposite.
I want.
I'm completely okay with digital downloads.
It depends on exactly what it is, though. Like, with Steam, I'm okay, like, downloading a lot of these games off of there, just because...
It's, it's like a reliable distributor.
Regardless, just because I can get them for so cheap. I don't
That
think
too.
I've ever purchased a game on there that's over $10 at any point in time. And most of them that I have downloaded, actually, like, I bought through other sources and got the DRM free and the Steam code, but it was just easier to put in the Steam code than to install it myself and then manually add it to the library and manually add a picture to it.
Well, I think that's where they're in that huge bidding war with Steam, and since like Steam's now becoming really, really, really big.
Yeah, now that EA has pulled all of their games off of Steam,
Yeah.
strictly for Origin.
Origin, which is
Oh my
not
God.
okay.
That is
They're
negative
so
for sales.
fucked.
Yeah, that is negative for sales. That is horribly stupid.
Yeah.
And they were talking about game pricing and stuff, and how like originally when John Riccitiello was talking about like games needing to be cheaper, how digital distribution was going to be one of those things that like really kicked that into effect. But games like on PlayStation Market and on Vita, they're like $5 cheaper, and yeah, that's cool and all, but that's not substantial amount.
No.
And then on Origin, they're selling games for the exact same price.
Yeah, so
Like,
there's no reason to buy it.
Yeah, when you could just go to the store and get it. I mean, yeah, you have to pay the tax at that point, but it's like $2 and you have a physical case.
Yeah, but like that.
You can take it to your friend's house.
Yeah, that extra $7 to me is worth the physicality. Like, I like being able to
Yes.
put it on a shelf and
I
display
enjoy
it. Like,
yeah.
especially if it's a really
really cool.
good game.
Like your
Like,
room, Ethan.
for
example.
like this room.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's like, it's one of those things like I remember as a kid, like going over to your friend's house and like you'd bring your games with you. Especially going to go spend the night at your friend's house. You have all your games. And you're like, we're going to do this tonight and play games. And like,
It's getting to the point though to where there's not even like any like local multiplayer.
Right, exactly.
So that's
But the
died off.
PS4 with the light thing.
Certain things now, though, like when Double Dragon Neon released, they didn't have an online feature for that. It was only local.
Yeah, the Scott Pilgrim game was also lacking that feature until 2 years later, which
But that game was
I
tight.
totally bought.
Yeah.
for like $10 or whatever the hell it was.
I don't know, but that's kind of like the joy of video games is like being with your friends and playing games.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I argued this before with you, Fred, though, is I enjoy mostly single-player experiences.
Right.
Most of the games I have are
Single
single-player.
player experiences.
I don't like playing video games a lot of times with other people. Where
Well, some
it's
people
like,
do.
Yeah, and I mean I like playing Mario Party because
Well,
it like destroys friendships. But,
Mario Party,
but-
Mario Party gets people shot in the inner city.
yeah, it does.
So
I mean,
Gotta get those
there's
stars, man.
playing games by yourself for the story, for the feel, for the immersion,
Yes.
and then there's co-op play.
there's co-op play.
Co-op play can be a lot of fun. Like Monster
Yes.
Hunter, for
It
instance.
has its
Portal.
place. It has
Portal
its place.
has fantastic co-op play. I'm trying to look at your stuff. I'm honestly just kind of looking at your games
There's
and
not going to be
seeing.
any context for the recordings.
No, I'm looking at his
Just kinda
games
looking
and
at your stuff.
no, I'm gonna say the
He's
names when
trying
I
to pull-
see a
he's
good
trying to pull
one.
co-op names.
Yeah, like Demon Souls has pretty good co-op. Or not,
No,
co-op,
it doesn't
but
have co-op.
Yeah, it's not
No.
co-op, it's multiplayer.
There's multiplayer.
The Souls games do have like sick ass multiplayer.
Resident Evil 5 had a decent multiplayer for what the game was.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the multiplayer co-op function
It's
in it
not
worked.
really worth playing solo, but co-op is hella fun.
I just hate online competitive play because it just makes me angry. I don't want to be angry when I play games. I want to enjoy myself.
I enjoy competitive
It
play.
depends.
It de-
I'm angry when I play Kart Life, and I enjoy that. But there's a reason for that.
Well, you're supposed to be angry. You're supposed to be
You're supposed to be
wanting more.
wanting more or wanting to die. One of the two of those.
Either or, but that's the difference in Kart Life.
Yeah.
That's what makes Kart Life Kart Life. Then you understand. The
But I mean-
maker.
It's back on the topic of like digital distribution. I don't mind the market like shifting more in that direction, especially for a console that wants to release with like decent sized hard drives and
Right.
cloud gaming and all this and that. You know, that's fine, but don't give us a sticker that we have to put on the outside of it. You know, like just a code that we gotta slap on the top and remember in case it ever gets deleted or whatever. Like, we don't need to go out and buy a picture case to put up on our shelf that we can't use.
Yeah.
Just a picture frame with
Yeah.
Master Chief inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally going out and you're buying a fucking slab of rock to throw on your counter. Because after you use the disc, it's no longer any good unless, like, you log into a friend's console and use it there.
Yeah, see, that was like the only like big benefit that consoles had over PC gaming, is that you
Yeah.
have the ability to borrow games from friends or whatever, and you have the physical disc with you that you can do whatever you with. That you can do whatever you want with. But with PC gaming, you don't get that. But that was like the big main part of, you know, what made console gaming so appealing.
The only
It's
way that you'd
physical
be
risk.
able to do that with this new thing is if you had, like, I guess, because on Xbox 360 you can take your account and you can sign on to a friend's Xbox. You just like enter your code or you enter your username and password on that. And I'm assuming that it would work that way, but
You
They,
still-
that would be a pain
they
in
did
the
state
ass.
that it would
Yeah.
work that way,
You
but
still
it's
have to
like
like re-download the game.
Exactly.
Pain in the
Yeah.
ass.
when
Just
all the
log into
information
console.
should be right there on the disc
Just
for
for
you.
plus if your friend's like, hey, let me play this game, or can I borrow this game? Well, no, because you have to sign into my account and be in my Xbox account playing this game that I
That
bought.
and what about private sales? What if I want to sell my games at a yard sale?
Yeah.
What if I
Yeah,
don't
that's
like this
something
game,
completely
but I have
bad.
somebody I know
Well,
that
no,
wants to
they
give me
hate you.
$20 for it, and
That makes you the problem.
Yeah.
Ethan.
Yeah.
You are now the problem.
I am now the reason the game industry
I can
fails.
feel it.
Microsoft has
because-
you on a watch list.
Yeah. You become the reason then once you put your games at the yard sale. You go.
It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
And then the EA police come and they beat you.
If I sell CDs, does that kill the CD industry? No, it's dying on its own.
Apple's doing that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, digital distribution for music, there's still CDs out there. There's still cassettes out there. And when I went to Death Fest, I picked up a vinyl. Like,
What's finals
current.
classic.
well, no, I mean, I picked up a current. I picked up a vinyl that was pressed this year. You know, things
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
They go
They
through.
press 8 tracks this year?
Probably. No shit. There's probably some indie place out there that does 8-track tape pressing still because they have the machines. You know, it's not like they couldn't do it.
I want an 8 track with like a Tekken soundtrack.
You just pop that into your 1972 caddy. It's got the Snoop Dogg track on it.
Fucking Snoop Dogg level.
What's that fighting game he has out?
Oh, is it? It's
Oh,
not Def
I
Jam.
told you
Def
about
Jam.
Snoop
No,
Dogg,
no,
the
it's
Way
not
of the Dog.
Yeah.
Way of the Dog.
This is
What?
so fucking...
Did he
It's
drop
a
this
rhythm
rhythm-based
based
thing
fighting
already?
game, and it looks dumb as hell.
Wasn't Snoop Dogg in that old true crime game?
Yeah, Streets of LA.
Yeah, he was the voice
You know
actor.
one of the best
Main
like
character.
it was weird because it was actually semi-decent games was like 50 Cent Blood in the Sand.
Yes.
The fact that it was actually pretty
It was
decent.
playable.
I was so angry the entire time I was playing it though because I was 50 Cent. I was like, if I
You wanted 50 Cent's blood in this game?
I thought it was a game where you were Lloyd Banks and you got to kill 50 Cent, and that would be it.
Every enemy is 50 Cent.
Yeah.
He cloned himself.
I'm gonna get it for the computer and see if they have mods for that. Because
I'm sure they do.
the only members of G Unit that were any good ever were the game and Lloyd Banks. And I was just so upset that 50 Cent had a game out that was doing well.
It was actually decent. I played it. I was like, why? I'm having fun. I don't understand this.
It's like when the Chronicles of Riddick game came out for the Xbox.
Oh,
It was
that was so
actually
good.
good.
Well, I like the Chronicle Riddick movies.
The
They
game
were-
wasn't based off the movies, though.
No, I know.
Yeah,
but
it
it's-
was.
And that's what made it good.
Yeah,
No, but it was released-
quality-wise, probably.
It was released around the same time to try to garner from the hype of it, though. And the movies, yeah, I liked them, but I didn't think they were good by any means.
Well, the animated one was the best by far. The animated one was
Yeah.
legitimately a
Yeah.
good film. I tried watching that All-Star Superman animated one from DC.
Mhm.
That's the only animated film they had that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Because it's like Lex Luthor radiates, like, tricks Superman into going so close to the sun that his
Oh,
cells
yeah,
get
yeah,
overloaded.
yeah. I just watched it like the
I
other
love
week.
the comic.
Yeah,
I read the original
but
couple
he
issues.
basically just spends an hour just
Yeah, he
fucking
spends an
telling
hour
Lois
just
Lane
trying
how
to-
much he loves her,
Yeah.
like showing him all this cool shit around his placement, but you're not doing shit, Superman.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you romance Lois Lane for an hour.
No, I want to see him be sad for an hour.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
It's just, Superman locks himself in this room.
It's like a 5 o'clock shadows.
He's just in the fetal position. Just
He loves just like
worthless.
Superman, come out. He's like, I don't want him.
He's drinking Jack Daniels. But because he's Superman, it doesn't affect him.
He hasn't fed Crypto in a week.
Dog's like clawing at his door.
Fuck you, Crypto. We all die anyway. Shit.
They send Batman over to check on him.
Hey man, I really don't care, but you're alright.
Clark, just open the door. Open the door.
Don't make me break it down. You know I got something in this belt that'll break it down.
My parents are dead. Clark, mine are too. Come on. Don't give me that shit.
That's why they sent me, because we bond. We don't like each other, but we got that bond.
That orphan movie.
Oh, you'll be able to watch that with your Xbox One.
I watched it on my PS3. That is how I watched it. I watched it on my PS3.
Yeah, well now you can buy another box
They
that'll
don't-
do all that and more.
They don't get the point of having those features in the way they have them, and the emphasis on those features. They don't.
The reveal was all about that. The reveal was literally about how much it interfaces with television and these different apps.
The thing is,
But
they have
the-
smart
are they trying to,
TVs
like,
now that
yeah,
do the
smart
same
TVs.
thing.
Sony has a smart TV that is phenomenal. That's the one I have in my house, and it's great. I can access all these features and
So
see
you have an
forward.
Xbox One, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
He already has it.
It was moving
It's
forward.
nice.
It's in the
It's
shape of
Sony
a TV,
technology
though.
that can interface with this other Sony technology. So if you have a Sony Smart TV, you have something made by Sony that can do everything that Xbox One can do. And then if you have a PS4, you have all that too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
Higher
real
powered version.
Yeah, plus moving forward, Sony can integrate that across the television to game console platforms and just
And that's
do
going to be a real
everything.
issue with Xbox One. Is they're no longer just competing with the gaming market. Now.
No.
They're
Yeah.
competing with smart TVs
And
and
I
everything
think that
else.
was their mistake. They picked they're like Germany in World War II, where they picked.
Okay, Fred. Hold on.
Xbox One to SS soldiers?
Yes.
Let's see where this goes.
Well, the
Continue.
swastika kind of looks like an X.
Just turn it at like 45
Just
degrees.
add a little
They
line.
picked too many fronts to fight. They sit there and they picked so many fronts, and then they picked that fight with Russia for no reason after they had that treaty with them. That's kind of what they did there, and like fucking with all the entertainment market.
Nintendo
Not that
Sweden.
Microsoft is equatable to Nazis.
Nintendo
Not
tried to
involved.
completely pull out of the gaming console war. No, they
Which I
literally
think that
they
was good
backed
for
off.
him,
They
and I
backed
think
off,
that
and that's good.
that was
Yeah,
good for them.
they got
In
like
the
their
long
own
run,
little
that is
arcade
But they're not
that
even
was
doing
just-
anything now. They're just sitting there playing with their dicks.
Yeah, but they're playing
They've
with their
got
dicks and
potential for some
jacking
really
off
good
and
games
busting
coming
out.
out.
Although I'm
Luigi's
not going to
Mansion
lie,
2.
I'm going to buy the fuck out of Animal Crossing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
so
saying.
You got no
They keep
reason
going.
Okay.
They keep going and going, but they're busting out these new games that are.
I guess they're
Nintendo
overhead.
isn't trying to compete with anybody.
Yeah, they're not. They don't have to.
They have their own niche market, and they're okay with that.
Plus, I guess their
But I would
overhead
like to
mustn't
see
be
more
that,
Nintendo
it can't
games.
be that big. Like Sony and Microsoft is investing all this money in new platforms, and
They have to have
coasting.
departments
with
for
support,
it.
yeah.
Nintendo is focused on it. It's all they do, and they do it well.
Exactly.
I'm
They've
waiting
got a
for
bunch of
Nintendo
titles.
though to like release like a new like IP, but that's like feels like a Nintendo game.
That's
not
never.
like
I don't
see,
think that's going to happen.
But I
Very difficult for them to do.
I know,
because
but I
everybody-
want them to do that.
I'm pretty
because
sure
that'd be-
they've tried all the different animal
that'd be
mascots
so
they can.
good for them.
There are no more animal mascots.
They need,
left.
they
Just gotta
just
make something like
make an
Kirby, it's
animal.
not
It's Nintendo. They can make animals.
They can make their own animals.
They just create creatures.
I think it's called Pokemon, Fred.
Why don't they just do it? Why don't they do a new game with a giraffe where you gotta like wind your neck around through rings and stuff?
It'll be like
I'd
Aquaman,
play it.
Yeah.
except
you control the neck.
I just got this image in my head of a sadomasochist giraffe.
No, that would be interesting. Nintendo Wii U game, you gotta control the front hooves with the analog sticks, and you control the back hooves.
Can we
So it
copyright
does,
this?
it does play like Octodad.
Give me the
And then when you want to giraffe neck it, you just start drawing the path you're taking.
I hope that's actually what the move is called, is giraffe necking it.
That's the verb.
I made a new face of Nintendo, Gimpy the giraffe.
Gimpy the giraffe.
Put on a leather S&M suit. Zippers everywhere. Zippers everywhere. It'll look just like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 to have like 30% more zippers.
Yes. Yes.
I hope that's in the trailer.
They have to be
20%
working on
more
Kingdom
spiky
Hearts
hair.
3. They have to be. Like, now is the time. If they wanted to announce Kingdom Hearts 3, now is the time. Because Kingdom Hearts 1.5 is coming out here in the fall. Kingdom Hearts 2.5 is about to come out in Japan.
It's already kind of announced, though, because they did say that
Well,
they
they
are
kind of
gonna make
announced it at
but
the
they
end of
haven't,
Kingdom
like-
Hearts 2.
We just haven't seen
I
it.
just want proof.
Yeah, I just want that evidence.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Like a lock of Sora's hair just on a screen
so
somewhere.
we discussed
It's
this the other
like
day.
Christmas.
The pillars of Square Enix, which I've dropped from 4 down to 3 now.
Jesus.
The pillars of Square Enix are like Final Fantasy, and then the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and then their new IPs. And right now, with the couple new IPs that they got coming out, like Murdered,
What was the fourth one?
Soul Search. The fourth
Final
one was
Fantasy re-releases.
yeah.
That's not even a pillar.
That's-
That's
Final
what.
Fantasy.
No, I'm talking about holding the company up, not like things that matter to
those
them.
aren't
Yeah.
holding a
Because all the IPs that they've redone, you know, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, the ones that they produced.
Yeah,
Zircon
Tomb
Hong
Raider
Kong,
and
Sleeping
Hitman?
Dogs was phenomenal.
That's
Yeah,
new
right.
IPs. That's what I'm
all
talking
of the,
about.
all the games they do like publish and stuff is they're all really good, but they don't like sell a lot, which is
Well, that's
Yeah.
Square
really
Enix
really
America.
sad.
Yeah, but it's
Tomb
still.
Raider,
I'm talking overall the entire company.
Yeah, but
Like-
they overproject the sales so much, and it's just unrealistic. It's like they don't know the American market for video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, like what's it, 5 million sales or something like that for Tomb Raider to be.
Yeah, that's what they want. It got like 3.5,
Acceptable.
I think.
You realize that, like, take the number of consoles sold, divide that in half, and that's the amount of people that don't just play Call of Duty on their consoles, but also play Call of Duty and sports games.
Mhm.
Now divide that in half again, and that's the amount of people that play more than just Call of Duty and sports games.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that seems about
That's
right.
the user base that would buy Tomb Raider, which is a quarter of the user base of the console. And then you still have to take into account, you know, how many of those people have enough money to buy Tomb Raider right when it comes out. It's a Tomb Raider game. You know, the franchise, especially recently, hasn't been extremely popular.
Right,
You know, the original ones had a lot of popularity back when they were still, like,
They
the
had a huge
PS1 was
cult
rolling.
following.
That was
Yeah.
a big
Boobs.
part just because of the boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it still has those tits.
It's,
Albeit,
Holocaust tits have gotten smaller.
That's
No,
every
it's more about
second
the
game.
ass now. They put a lot more work into the ass.
Yeah,
than
it's all the ass and the hair.
And that's what's
Chest
important.
effects
Oh,
and
that
pieces.
hair.
That's what's
That was like
important.
she was actually like a cool female protagonist.
well,
yeah,
it was,
it was a well-crafted game. You guys need to play it.
It's-
so good.
Uncharted 4 Female Expedition.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
But it's
It's-
awesome. It's more
I'm still-
arcadey than
with
Uncharted.
like
I'm still
no
gonna
2
play it.
rating in it.
I'm still gonna play it, but like I said, I just don't have the money for it right now. And
Yeah.
again, that raises the issue. You know, there are people like me that want to play these games. They're not going to have the money for them. They're still going to want to buy them. So
But
that
at a cheaper rate. So
that contributes to the amount of sales. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Might
like
be
I'm
okay
gonna buy
with
it
that now,
used
but-
over a new one because that's cheaper for me.
yeah, and I'm going to do it 4 months after the game launches.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking Tomb Raider. Same thing with Hitman. I haven't bought the new Hitman yet, and last time I like looked at it, it was $23 fucking used. Like when I go back to buy it next time, it's probably gonna be 16. You know, a game that came out like what end of last year.
Yeah,
Game-
but then
game
Ethan.
prices are dropping a lot.
Yeah.
Really
Metal Gear
quick.
Solid's about $5 over a GameStop used.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
I
Ethan,
saw
you'll
Metal
be
Gear
part of the
Rising was
problem.
like $20 a GameStop.
You'll be part of the problem
Dropped
then.
real fast.
Yeah, I'll be part of the problem. The poor people that want to play video games, that's the problem.
That is.
Well, that's why the free-to-play market is going up so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Blacklight and all those other shooters and stuff like that.
And the Crytek, they said they're going to only be doing free-to-play games now.
Are they giving up on Crysis?
Hopefully.
Oh, thank God.
But hold up a second there. because
Crisis 3 was supposed to be actually pretty good.
I had heard from everybody it was pure shit.
It
Oh.
was pretty shit. Matt has heard my rant about it.
Oh,
I
God.
I
I don't want to talk
I
about
did.
that.
You don't want
I
to talk about
I
my
played
No, I
2
don't.
and I
Not at
was
all.
not.
Yeah, 2
Impressed.
apparently was where things started going really downhill.
See, I like 2 a lot more than 1, though.
I heard that the
hated
end
2.
of the end of 1 left a really sour taste in everybody's mouth, and that's what people complain about. Like when the aliens came in.
One was just to test your computer's capability to see if it could even run it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
damn.
the gameplay in 1 was
Yeah,
not
everything.
that great at
Everything
all.
was like, oh, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. That's a gorgeous
Yeah,
game.
it's a
Graphics,
good
what? That's beautiful, but there was nothing in it.
It seems like they're all just tech demos spun out to
Yeah,
actual
that's why I
games.
always kept thinking like it was like it's just a tech demo that's just been a long,
Have you
just
guys
exaggerated.
Played, have you guys played like 1, 2, and 3 and looked at the story as a whole and how shitty it is?
No,
And how
because my
because I
brain
don't-
can't
So
process
bad.
it.
It's so
So
bad.
fucking
it's like
bad.
the worst
Oh,
shooter story
Craig,
of
at
this
the theater
generation.
one time, you'll appreciate this. A guy came in, a guy was there, and as he was walking out, he asked me if whatever it was had an end credits thing, and I was like, no, I actually don't think so, but I don't remember just because it's been a little while since I've walked into the theater that had one of these. And he goes, okay, so I'll wait around. And he had saw I was wearing the Daniel Cannon shirt. And he had saw like a couple of the lines and stuff like that. He was like, what shirt are you wearing? It's like, oh, it's Daniel Cannon. It's supposed to look like a processor, like a motherboard with like the lines and stuff going on it. He goes, that's pretty cool. You into computer games? So I was like, okay, yeah. Okay, you make that jump? Yeah. He goes, I'm actually writing fan fiction right now for the Crisis series. And I immediately started smiling, and I was like, tell me all about it.
Oh my
Why did I
God.
appreciate that?
Because it's hilarious.
Can we please
you're
look
an
up some
English
Crisis
major.
fanfiction after we do this?
No.
No, we're doing it while we're doing this.
We
Yeah,
just
this
read
guy
it-
was telling me how
we
he's
read it
writing
to the audience.
He was writing Crisis fan
All
fiction.
two
He was
people.
explaining to me like,
How can you be that fucking into Crisis? Like in your free time, you're like, there's just not enough story for Crisis. I gotta take this into my own hands.
maybe there were some things he was unhappy with. He had to flesh it out for himself.
Like emails him.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, like he was trying to explain to me like where his fan fiction started, and he was like, actually, there's a part in 2, and like he broke off from that point and started explaining to me like it's actually supposed to take place before the new one. I'm like, all right then.
That's fine because there's like a 10 to 15 year gap between them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do those games anymore. Like I tried to keep up, and my brain couldn't take it.
Well, I mean, that's like me with Assassin's Creed. I told you, I played through the first one, and I liked it, even though it was really repetitive. And then when I went back for the second one, I like played part of it and got kind of like, whatever. But then I was gonna like keep going with it at some point. But then they released like Assassin's Creed 2-2 and Assassin's Creed 2-3,
Yeah.
and they were the same game.
Oh, okay.
so I've never continued.
Like
I don't have.
Granted,
I don't want to.
that they have gone down over the years, but I'm too deep in to stop now. Because it must end.
Fred, do you want this Blu-ray? This Assassin's Creed Lineage Blu-ray?
No, Ethan,
What?
you can watch that on YouTube.
I don't want it.
I don't.
What
want
is
it,
that?
Ethan.
Let me see this.
It's a mistake, is what it is.
That was.
Is this a live action?
Yes, they did
I
too
bought
many
it from
things.
Wait, that's
GameStop
live
for $5.
action?
They
Yeah,
did,
it's
they
a
did a
live
live
action.
action movie, and then they did a
What?
CG movie.
Oh, that's
The CG movie
sad.
was
I heard the
cool.
CG one was good. I haven't watched
I-
it.
The CG movie was
I'm trying to
cool.
find somebody who wants that, because I don't.
No one wants it. Why did you? How did you get this?
GameStop sold it for $5.
GameStop? What GameStop?
Yeah, I know.
What? Ethan, what
Fred's
is
furious. He's gonna go there and shoot the place up now, Ethan. Thanks a
No,
lot.
it's the GameStop
I
in
thought-
Silent Hill that was like,
I
you want
thought-
to buy this? That
yeah.
was your nightmare?
Yes. That's my nightmare. It's like when we were talking about playing the Silent Hill games, and I play the Vita one.
Yeah.
And the whole time I get angry, and that's my nightmare. Is
Yes.
that I'm just fucking angry at where the Silent Hill franchise is going.
the log lines for these Crisis fan fictions are just the best.
Yeah.
Let's see. Whispers of a life once lived. They came to him at night.
Are they like?
Is this erotic fanfiction?
That's what I was
Can we
hoping
find some
for.
of that?
Raptor's Legacy, a one-shot fanfic on Crisis based after the events of Crisis 3. I know it's not AAA material, but I try.
When
Warning!
something starts out like that, you know it's
Spoiler
gonna be
alert.
bad.
Do not read if you haven't finished Crisis 3. Cry Earth, an old project that fell through with me and my friends. We were going to make a machinima, but didn't.
Thanks for that.
I'm just gonna start posting about things that I wanted to do and never did on my Twitter account that I never used.
That's pretty good.
Crisis Alcatraz. After destroyed the Ceph on New York, Alcatraz asked Gould to take it off from him. Gould said without the suit he could die, but that young Marine was ready for any risk.
So all these
All these
Crisis,
sound like fucking
This is the
rockets.
best one.
all these Crisis fan fictions are written by like 8-year-olds so far.
This is the best one. Crisis 3, a possible sequel to Crisis 2.
Oh my
I was
god.
hoping for the devs to find the fanfic and actually make a game about it.
They probably did.
Oh, let's read it. Oh no.
This is fantastic. Which one should I go in and read?
I don't want a full read
No,
through.
we're
of
not
any
No,
of
gonna
these.
I'm not
read
going to.
these.
But like, you guys can keep talking. I'll pick out the gems.
Okay. Back to Assassin's Creed. What I thought was ridiculously dumb that they did with the franchise was with Assassin's Creed 3, they had like the whole like story with Connor and stuff. And they came out with the Tyranny of King Washington DLC, and they were like, "Oh no, it's just an alternate timeline or whatever. It's not going to replace this original story." And then when they came out, they were like, "Oh no, it replaced the original story. The original story's bullshit." And I was like, "Are you serious?"
Wait a minute, they did that?
Yes,
Really?
I swear to God.
Oh, damn.
I thought it was supposed to be an alternate dimension.
Is that what?
That's what it started out as.
Is
And
that
then
what
it was
Black
actually
Flag is
supposed
now?
to be like,
Assassin's Creed
No.
4 Pirates Gold?
Black
2?
Flag is like you're a pirate.
it's pretty much your
Oh, thank you.
That's it.
From what we've
That's
gotten,
all.
there's nothing about assassins in it. You're just a pirate.
Well,
with a
yeah, but
hood.
is it follow the Assassin's Creed timeline?
Yes.
I'm assuming it does.
Well,
I don't know how.
Well, what happened? Well, you're playing as Edward, who is Connor's from 3's grandfather.
What?
So this is the first time it's actually gone backwards in time.
Fred's the only one that understands.
Yes,
Assassin's
because I've
Creed.
played every single Assassin's Creed.
So have I.
He's
but-
read all the books. He's read all the
I haven't
fan
read any
fictions
of
and
those.
novels.
I've read every single Assassin's Creed fanfiction and erotica.
Fred, if I bought you one of those dumb, like, plastic assassin knives things that come out of your wrist, you'd fucking probably
No,
get a
Gene
boner.
has
Yeah,
one of
Gene
those.
has one.
Gene has one. He spent his GameStop points on them, and I told him he was stupid. He should have got the. He should have got the
the portal gun.
He should have got the jacket.
Yes,
the
you should
jacket.
get the portal gun.
He should have got the aperture jacket, which
You know
was
what I
way
got?
cooler.
I got a $50 off coupon off of Injustice. So
See,
for my fight stick, I only paid.
That's even
$100.
better than
That's
than the
pretty
wrist
good.
thing.
Yeah.
Remember the
'Cause that
best-
fight stick is fucking sexy.
The best little bonus that I got was when Infamous 2 came out. I got his messenger bag, and it's the Sly Cooper logo on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty sick.
That'd be pretty badass.
So all the Crisis fanfiction was bad, so I'm looking up Viva Pinata.
Why does that exist?
That's so good though.
There's 84 entries.
Holy shit!
Oh my god, I bet you they're all erotica.
Rebellion in Paradise.
Alright, so
We've
Viva,
gotten so sidetracked now.
yeah.
Viva Ron Paul.
What? Because Viva Pinata is a socialist simulator.
Alright, what are you excited to see at E3, Ethan?
I'm excited to see everybody fail.
Really?
Yeah, in fact, one of the things I wanted to talk about with E3 was, what do you think EA is going to say or do that's going to be exciting this year at all? Or do you think they're just going to play everything off?
Madden 25.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is they...
Madden 25.
Do you really think that they're not going to make any sort of address to the fact that they released 5 shooters in the past year that have, like, none of them have done extremely well?
No, they're not. They're
all
going to come out with
about
another
COD blocks.
shooter.
Medal of Honor Warfighter, fucking...
Completely bombed.
Yeah, completely fucking bombed. Dead Space 3, which regardless of what anybody thinks of it, financially to them, they admitted that it had failed. Crysis 3, which was also a financial failure and also a critical failure.
Yeah.
Then you have Army of 2-3, which nobody knew
Dumbass
that...
title.
Yeah, well, it was like Army of 2 Devil's Cartel or something like
Right.
that. And whatever the case, nobody even knew it was coming out. They didn't promote it at all. And all the Army of 2 fans stopped playing after the first Army of 2 because the second one was terrible. So it didn't sell at all.
The second game, there's a section in there, it's like, there's like a moral compass on the entire game, which is fucking dumb in the first place. There's a moral choice in that for you to shoot a tiger. You can shoot the tiger, or you cannot shoot the tiger and continue. And that's the choice.
That's kind of dumb.
Like, it's in a cage, and you can either shoot it or you can walk away, and it doesn't affect anything.
Alright, Craig, give this.
God damn it, Craig.
Craig, you're over there in tears.
This one entry that has 26 chapters.
My fucking god!
And like apparently it's like a big community effort where people come and like they've made like this whole branching story. Like this is just one for the middle of it. After the gun that leads to the alternate universe malfunctions, both the gender bends and the original villagers are stuck in the same world. Everything is interesting and fun at the beginning, but once people start showing up in various stages of dismemberment, the mood starts to change.
This is Viva Pinata?
What the fuck?
This is dumb.
Oh, okay, I got.
I think Nintendo
Now-
can pull out some good stuff of these.
Well, let me finish
They're
with EA
going
real
to.
quick, though.
They don't really have anything announced.
Is that,
They're shown.
then they had the Insomniac failure Fuse, which
That's big.
after 7 days they knew that it was not going to be able to sell anywhere near what they had wanted, that it was just completely going to flop.
It was
All the-
marketed all wrong.
Still have no idea
I
what
didn't
that
even
game
know
is.
it was a game.
Yeah, 'cause it was
Exactly,
marketed
and all the
terribly.
reviews are, it is
Eh.
a game.
Yeah, and they're like,
no
we can't
marketing
really say that
whatsoever.
it's like bad. The mechanics work. They're
That's
fine.
5 failed shooters. That's like, what, 2 or 3 FPS, and the other ones are all third person? They're all financial failures.
BioShock succeeded. Oh, not BioShock. BioWare's game, Mass Effect. That was the one I don't think was a financial failure.
That's kind of different, though. I consider that more on the RPG side of
Yeah.
it. But even though it was only the first one that was like really RPG,
Well, it was like one of the first games of like last year that came out. It came out around 2 months ago last year.
well, yeah, I'm talking about like the recent within the past
Oh.
year, like their financial failures on shooters and how that's going to affect them coming up, because the Madden franchises are always going to have those sales regardless.
Yes.
You know, that's never going to be a game.
Are we
franchise
talking
that
about
drops.
Xbox specifically?
Well, until
No,
they,
we're
yeah,
talking
just
about
unless
EA.
Just
unless they lose
Yeah.
that license, which I really hope they do.
Even if they lose the license, the Madden franchise,
They'll continue. Yes.
they'll still continue.
As much shit as EA gets, you kind of have to give them credit, because when they make a new IP, even if it costs them money every time they release a game, they stick with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, but it's also, is it worth sticking with it though?
No,
Army of
but
2, that's an IP they could completely drop.
It's done.
Well, yeah,
Medal of
that
Honor.
Dead
Medal of
Space
Honor
2,
died off
but
on
I
the
love
PS2.
Dead Space.
I was in high school when the first Army of 2 came out.
I've
It was coming
never
out, and I was
played.
like, everyone was so excited for Army of 2. when
You're
it
in the
came out.
army. Do you guys really shove tampons in each other?
What?
'Cause that's what happens in Army 2.
Which one?
Army 2 too.
What?
When you get shot, they shove a tampon in the bullet wound to soak up all the blood.
Why don't you just
That's what happened in the
Well,
video
you
games.
just
I don't know why you're
apply
asking me.
Why don't you apply
Generally-
pressure?
Because tampons are just everywhere in Iraq, apparently.
I thought they made them out of sheep's wool over there.
They just shove a sheep.
Generally, you just throw a tourniquet on to stop the bleeding, and then you continue.
Okay, well, I didn't know. That's why I asked.
No, that's not a real thing, Craig. Maybe
That's
for a
the thing.
nosebleed, but
That's
Well,
something
maybe
they
that's
thought
why
would be
Army of
fine.
2 didn't sell a lot of copies.
That
It
specific
wasn't,
reason.
it wasn't authentic like
It was the outrage over the tampons.
They didn't market the Army of Two series even correctly. I remember when the first one came out, and I remember all the hype for that game. I remember sitting in high school in every class, and everyone's going, Army 2 comes out next week. It had that hype ass Mastodon song, which was like the cover of like One Is the Loneliest Number.
Yeah.
It was actually like pretty cool, and it was like, yeah! And then it happened, and it was okay.
I remember playing it with a friend and being disappointed and never going back to the franchise, just like Call of Juarez.
When the
The
first,
first Call of Juarez wasn't that great. The second one was a lot better.
I like
The third
the first
one was
Call of
really
Juarez.
shitty. I never finished the third.
I never went back after the first one, but the first one had a lot of charm. But it wasn't a good game. But when Army 2 came out, I remember me and my friend used to play it online all the time. That's when I used to play games online. And we got up to like 6 and 7 on the leaderboards. Because we used to play it all the time. Like our mission was to become 1 and 2. And we got really, really close. And then EA's servers fucked up. And they reset the whole thing. And we're just like, we're not putting this
Is that just
time
the
into it
reoccurring
again.
theme? For like EA?
It's servers fucking up.
Yeah.
Well, SimCity.
Yeah, SimCity.
No, that was
That's a
just
perfect
the
example
worst.
of service going out.
That was
EA's
as
so
bad.
fucking evil.
That was as bad.
No, it's the
as
way
the
they
fucking
handled it.
Diablo 3 launch.
No,
No, it was worse because it lasted for like 2 months.
Diablo 3 launch, there were only specific people that were able to play it for like the first month and a half.
I bought it within like the first month.
yeah, so did I.
Yeah, me and Matt bought it
I
like
played.
2 weeks after it launched, and we got in fine and played it.
I'm still not buying it, and then I was considering buying the
Dude, I
PS4
bought
version.
it. Cameron and I played it for about like a week or two, and we beat the entire game, and then we stopped.
See,
Like
I
it
played,
gives you that restart mode where you can play the campaign over again, and we got like
Yeah.
a quarter of the way through it again, and we were like, alright, whatever.
I played Diablo 2 for like
Haven't
4
touched it
years. Like, I love Diablo 2, and I played the shit out of it, and it's still like one of my favorite games to this day. And I didn't buy 3 when I heard about like the DRM and everything on it, because I didn't want to have to deal with that. It's the same reason I didn't buy StarCraft 2 right when it came out. And then I was looking forward to it when they announced it for PS4. They're like, oh, nobody's going to be excited for this. Well, I got excited. And then they said that you can't plug up a keyboard and mouse to your PS4 to play
The
it.
controls are going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, they said that they're moving it to a controller only. You can't plug up a keyboard and mouse. And now, instead of the mechanical, like where you click to get away from things, they have a dodge mechanic. Because you have to manually move your character with the stick, and then you dodge.
That's
they
kinda
had a dodge
nice.
move in the PC.
No, but I mean, like, one of the sticks is to dodge, move out of the way, or attack, or whatever it was. But they have like a press something to dodge out of the way, and
See,
because you're not clicking.
ARPGs do not work on consoles.
No, not at
I mean,
all.
Dungeon Siege 1 and 2 is good, and then 3 they tried to make on consoles, and it killed the franchise.
Well, I mean, shit. Anything that's like point and click.
Anything mouse heavy.
Yeah, anything super mouse heavy. I mean, they find specific ways to do it, like Walking Dead and like Back to the Future games and like Deja Vu for the NES. It works out okay, but in a game where it's point and click in real time,
Constantly.
yes, point and
Just
click.
reference an NES game?
Yes, point and click real time.
No, I understand. I know you talked about this game before, but why would you reference an NES game after referencing Walking Dead and
Because it's just as good, and also it's point and click on the NES. What's
Why didn't you reference CSI?
Or Sam & Max.
because I don't want to talk about CSI ever. Oh well, Sam & Max, yeah, but
Max.
Sam & Max they only have it on
Poor LucasArts.
They have Sam & Max on PS3, and they have it on the Wii, and that's it.
No,
It's not on the Xbox.
no, it's not.
At least I don't think so.
No.
Fuck it.
That's probably wrong, and I'm probably gonna look like a fucking idiot for saying it, but I don't think it is.
Yeah. I don't think it is either. But then again, I also do not know. Well, I remember for the longest time, I bought the whole big. They had like Sam Max Seasons 1 through 3 or whatever for like $5 on Steam, and I downloaded it for my Mac, but it was only available for Windows.
That's kind of gay.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
They'll probably
But if it's
find a way to
compatible
do
for
that
like
eventually.
Windows PCs and like games for Windows, maybe it was on the Xbox.
You know, that would make sense.
I want a PC so bad, but I don't have the money.
I should build a pretty tasty one for $450.
I don't have
$450.
I have $40 to buy Animal Crossing.
When I build that
It's
new
only
one,
35.
I'm looking at like a grand to a grand 12, or
Jeez.
not a grand 12, a grand and 200 to
What time?
Yeah, so you're just gonna have the big stunk
11,
PC.
You get paid in
Yeah.
Like, everything.
yeah.
Get like 4 Titans up in that bitch.
I'm not paying $400 in graphics cards. Or no, it's way more than that. They're like a
Oh,
grand
what?
a piece, aren't they?
Yeah.
Titans. No.
Which you won't
Vito's-
need any graphics card ever.
Again.
Ever.
Yeah, well, they were talking about doing the GeForce series. They're talking about doing the 700 series soon, or they released something about the 700 series, and I figured that immediately after that came out, the 600s would drop substantially in price, and I could get like the highest grade 600 series for like fucking $100.
Oh, I doubt they would drop that much because they're like 400.
Yeah, but I mean, if they launch another one and they're trying to get people to upgrade to the other ones, they're not going to keep these ones at a $400 price point and launch the other ones at like $1,000 for top tier and $500 for lower tier. It's these
I don't
ones.
think it would drop that drastically low to $100.
Well,
they drop definitely, but not
Yeah.
that drastically.
For E3, Nintendo's not having a big show.
I'm even thinking like near here actually.
But
Yeah,
they have a lot of potential.
yeah, they have a lot of stuff they can talk about, but they're not going to have like a big show.
I mean, it depends. What do you call a big show?
They said they're not going to have one.
The conference.
Not like the stage.
They're not having a stage conference.
Oh.
Well, they're having. From what I've heard, they're having like a smaller thing just for like press.
Yeah.
Kind of like their own little conference, but like you won't be able to like. People like us won't be able to like see what happened in there.
It'll be behind doors.
Yes, they'll be behind closed doors. And they're also having like a huge. At the same time, there's an event on like the showroom floor for everyone else who's not in the closed doors.
Well, I mean, they were talking about like Twitch TV streaming a lot of the stuff from there.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that and like
that if Nintendo does some sort of press conference, it's going to be streamed, or they're going to.
at Glen Burnie on
Nintendo
Mall, you
Direct.
can play like Lewis was telling me you can play some of the games.
At the Toys R Us there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want Nintendo to do well at E3. I want them to release a lot of big titles. Like Pikmin 3, I know they're probably going to talk about since they already talked about that in their other conference. They could potentially talk about a new Smash Brothers.
They said
They've been working on a Smash Bros. With Namco, right?
something like that. I actually don't even remember the details about it. But
They're working on it with another company.
now I do know that with them saying that they don't want like a big stage and presentation and stuff like that this year, that to me kind of comes across as we don't have any like huge news except for what we've already revealed. So we're just gonna like show stuff from that and do Nintendo Direct and hopefully Iwata hold bananas again. That's really all I got from that.
Yeah, it seems like they don't have any new hardware or anything like that. It's all just software.
But it's like it doesn't even seem like they're gonna launch hugely anticipated software because they aren't doing a stage.
No.
As to where Sony's going to go out and they're going to talk about their console and they're going to talk about
Their
Old Man
games.
Face, Ellen Page the game.
The Ellen Page simulator? I
Yeah.
want to play the shit out of that game.
Beyond Two Souls.
The gameplay I've seen of it looks a little iffy. With,
Well,
like, the possession system and stuff,
It looks interesting.
It looks
and that's what
interesting.
I'm looking for
interesting. I'm not sure if it's good or bad.
I
It's
could-
just
Like,
If
Well,
it's
what did you think about
different
Heavy
at this
Rain
point
when
in
you
time.
first played it?
Cameron,
Heavy Rain was what I expected it to be because it was very much like Indigo Prophecy.
Cameron, have you ever
Yeah.
just wanted to be Ellen Page?
No, I'm sorry, I don't dream of being Ellen Page.
Me and Fred were talking about the other day if at the end of the game you change your name to Ellen Page and become an actress and start doing mocap for video games.
And this is the story of Ellen Page's life.
Fred, can you just get a tattoo of Ellen Page on your back,
Yes.
please?
You know how
You're
hard it
black,
is
so it
to...
wouldn't show up that well.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, you know how hard it is to like color in on black skin, like light colors?
Fred's more of a
Tattoos?
brown.
Fred's pretty dark.
Yeah, he's...
I mean, he's not like right out of Africa black.
That's straight out of Africa black.
Yeah.
One where the sky turns dark.
Yeah.
God.
But nah,
Ellen Page the game looks interesting to me because, and I haven't talked about it with you or you, I don't think. I think David Cage is actually a really good writer, but he's like a George Lucas writer, as to where he has incredible ideas, but he needs people to tell him no and to argue with him until they find a way to make these ideas make sense.
like Kojima.
Yeah, well,
Except
Kojima,
nobody argues
no,
with
Kojima right now is
It's off the
CEO of
chain.
Konami. Kojima is the
No
only
one can
thing.
tell him to stop what he's doing. No one can be like, yo, Kojima, this doesn't make sense. Can you please not do this?
See, they did that.
Fired.
They did that with what's it, Metal Gear Solid 2 and with 3 though. They told him like there had to be specific things that like had to be changed, and they even did it with 4 a little
He
bit.
probably wanted the ladder boss to be more crazy and dramatic.
I remember in 3, he wanted
Fireworks
the
shooting up and everything.
Yeah, he wanted the boss like at the end to
like have one tit out.
yeah. There was a bunch of stuff I was reading about.
There's
Like,
concept art for it.
there's stuff.
Yeah,
boss
I've
with the
seen
titty.
concept art.
There's stuff he wanted in 3 that just they couldn't make happen, or that they were like, Kojima, this is insane. This is PS2 era. You can't do these things. But
It's
like
2001.
Kojima right now is the only thing keeping Konami alive, minus Castlevania Lord of Shadows, which there is no reason why that should be keeping Konami alive. Konami has already showed us that they hate Silent Hill and they don't want to have anything to do with Silent Hill, and that they are holding on to this IP that they don't want to sell just so they can say they have it.
It seems like Castlevania might go that way too.
Castlevania is going that way, and that's the issue. Is it's stealing from every game, and
It needs to. They should have just kept it as it was before. It was fine before.
it had its
The
it had its
3DS
mark.
one was supposed to be pretty good. I never played
The 3DS
myself.
one is a Lords of Shadow sequel, though, and the Lords of Shadow franchise is the
I heard
one
it.
that
I heard it like
dislike.
tried to be like the old ones and failed pretty miserably.
Because it tried to be a portable. The DS games that sold like really fucking well because they
Yeah.
were really good,
They were
mixed
The
with the
GBA
Lords of
games
Shadow.
were
Yeah, the GBA games.
to like Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah, like those ones were incredible. And moving on to this new thing, you know, it's not that I thought that Lords of Shadow was terrible. I just thought it was bad. So and like that's selling. It's apparently the best-selling Castlevania game ever, which is surprising to me. But those are probably numbers without returns. And then
It's also on consoles though, to where
yeah, it's also
yeah, appealing.
and it's across more consoles than just one, as
Yeah.
where a lot of previous ones were single console releases. But like Kojima right now is the only thing keeping fucking Konami in the black, and that's because of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And because they understand this, that's why they decided to let him just go ahead and let loose on 5. That's why 5 looks the way. That's why Ryzen.
That's why it looks ridiculously
Yes.
retarded.
It looks
So good.
Well, there's a why
It
is
looks
there a flame
good, but
whale?
We're gonna find
and
out.
so
And the
hyped.
unicorn.
It's gonna be so hyped.
I want that
cannot wait.
unicorn fight to be so good.
It's gonna be so
The
hyped.
whole game is just gonna be an acid trip.
I can't
You have
wait.
to cut the unicorn's horn off and stab him in the heart with it.
The game's like 100 hours long and it's 60 hours of cutscenes.
Thank God.
It's open world. It's
Yes.
an open world. Stealth game.
I'm
It's
going to
open
hate
world, but
this
every
game.
5 minutes of walking around, you get a cutscene. It's
Yeah.
just random ones.
It's like 48 minutes long.
You're walking around, and then Snake just looks at the scenery for like 15 minutes, and that's just the cutscene.
Yeah.
Does
Some
anybody
guy-
remember the Xenosaga games?
Yeah.
Those had like hour and a half long cutscenes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Man, that was a while back.
Oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4, like that 45-minute cutscene.
Yeah, there's like 2 of them back to back.
It was like a. The first one was like 30 minutes long, and then the second one was like 25 minutes long.
I
Or
don't know,
something
because they
like that.
kept my attention.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of information all at once, but it's you know, they have him holding up Konami,
Yeah.
and that's why Rising Revengeance was the way it was, and why like when he told them he wanted to do it on Platinum, who hasn't sold very good numbers ever,
Yeah.
but makes incredible games, they decided that that would be fine, and then now he's doing this new one. He has this new engine. They greenlighted his ridiculous like PR stunt of Moby Dick Studios
Yeah.
and Joachim Magren.
Which didn't fool anybody.
No. I thought it was funny that people thought that Joachim Magren was made on the Fox engine. And there were people like posting in forums and stuff about how like there were pixels off on his face and, and like his eyes didn't move like human eyes. And then they finally revealed that it was actually somebody that was real, and they were just fooling around the entire time, and they all looked like asses. But Kojima did say something. There was something posted up on the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance Facebook that had like a picture of. I don't even remember what the picture was, but it was talking about preparing for E3, and I'm excited to see what we have to look forward to with the new Metal Gear Solid.
Well, David Hayter looks like he actually is coming back to do the voice.
Really?
Yeah, he said he was going to do. I don't know, but he said that he was doing an appearance at E3. He was going to show up at E3.
Was he gonna be sad?
What if that's another fucking
Well,
PR stunt? David Hayter is no longer Metal Gear. David Hayter is no longer Snake.
That's another.
We're gonna announce a new voice for Snake at E3. David Hayter comes on stage.
David Hayter announces the new voice.
Oh my god, that'd be so fucked up.
He sent out a tweet that said, "I'm so excited for E3. I just hope I don't lose my voice, winky face."
Oh,
God damn
That
it!
fucking
Because
winky
Kojima
face.
doesn't know how like PR stunts work, and he
No.
keeps pulling them,
yeah.
and they're all
Surprise! It's not a fucking surprise, Kojima.
Oh yeah, this
After
would
the-
be a good idea.
After the Yoki Magrin thing came out, after he had announced that Metal Gear Solid 5 was actually Phantom Pain, which immediately was like, okay, so the entire thing was a backdrop. 2 days
You
later,
didn't believe me.
2
I
days
told
later,
you, Fred.
he determined that he still needed to make a statement, a press statement, about how everything was a sham and he had everybody fooled. Like 2 days after he announced that Phantom Pain was actually Metal Gear Solid 5. Like, not only did we know from the start, and not only was it verified when you announced this, but you have to come out and talk about how we were all fooled? Okay. Alright.
He doesn't understand how these things
It's the
work.
ultimate badass.
He really is. And
And then like remember he went to like PAX. What was it with like the mask?
oh yeah.
He had the mask on and like walked up on stage,
No,
showed the new trailer.
I'm
No, GDC. He was at GDC.
at this point in time, I'm excited that Kojima has as much control over his projects as he wants, because there were so many things that he wanted to unleash previously that he couldn't, and I think that now a lot of the bad stuff has been filtered out, and now that the series is in a specific... Now that the series is made and has a focus and it has its set canon, him doing anything forward, he wants to keep that canon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, he'll try to explain and backtrack on tons of things all the time, but he doesn't really, like, retcon too much. So I'm interested to see is how he's going to play out now. David Cage, on the other hand, like, what I was trying to say initially was him now being one of those writers to where he needs a group of people that, like, push down and tell him, like, you know, this won't work, how about we try this instead? No, I don't like that, let's argue for an hour and figure out something that neither of us really want, but that works out well. And they said that he's already working on a new project where he's with a group of people as one of the designers, rather than a solo, you know, this is my Omnicron, this is my...
This is my Omnicron.
Yeah, this is my Omnicron, this is my Indigo Prophecy, this is my Heavy Rain. Now it's him with other people, and I think that'll be good for him, and I think that we have a lot of really interesting stuff to look forward from it. Because Heavy Rain, regardless of, like, all the jokes that we make about it, and all the goofy shit, and everything in it that was bad, overall, it was an experience that I enjoyed, and that's what I look for the most when I game, is I want entertainment from my games.
You know what I really wish that they did? Instead of making Beyond, if they made a game based off of that one sci-fi tech demo they did.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Oh, the
Because-
one with the robot chick?
Because stories about like integrating like artificial intelligence that is smart and self-aware in society, stuff like that I love.
It's a terrifying concept.
It's just a controversial. It's such a controversial topic that I would have loved to see him make a game about it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
that's
a
like,
short story. That was beautiful. Like that.
Yeah, it
was
was
15
great.
minutes.
Yeah.
Of, like that was so good.
emotionally moving.
Moving.
Yeah, iRobot
For a
was
tech
great
demo?
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, are they gonna... What are they doing with the old man face tech demo? Can they make that into a game?
Yes, they're gonna make old man
It's just the incontinent old man.
Yeah.
You're playing as a
Nursing
nursing
home simulator 2013.
play a kid who just wants to go to medical school.
Yeah.
He works at a nursing home and he wipes this old man with his old man face.
Man, that'd be a really... It's a Wii game?
Yeah, it's like Cart Life, but
It's like Surgeon Simulator.
Yeah.
smack him around.
Get the police called on
He thinks he's a nom. No. Stop.
Lie to the police, say he's just crazy.
Yeah. It gets to the point where you're
Say
abusing this
Sino.
old man, and they never believe him.
The game is actually an exercise about human nature. Given the opportunity, you will do fucked up shit.
You are
Well-
horrible people.
I mean, they're releasing School Shooting Simulator, so
What?
God.
that's a real game.
Yeah, it's an indie game.
It was one they stopped for a while, and then they were like, "Wait a minute, why are we stopping? Nobody." They were like, "What are they gonna do?" And they just they're going to release it. It's like still in the works, and I'm actually kind of interested to play it just because I have like all the others. I have Chris Dorner's Last Stand. I have VTech Rampage, Super Columbine Massacre RPG, JFK Reloaded. You know, they're all really interesting, and they're like fun to play, and they're definitely like counterculture type games.
They're definitely fucked up.
They're definitely
Well,
fucked
yeah.
up.
But I mean,
Battle Raper.
that's not.
It's the American version of Battle Raper.
I do not include that in the
we play that?
counterculture games. No, we're never playing that.
Can we please play Battle
Censor it
Raper?
out like puppies.
That is not a game that I'm putting anywhere near my PC.
Why
Come
not?
on.
Because
Why do you draw the line at Battle Raper?
Because I don't want.
You just listed off a bunch of school shooting games, and you
But Battle Raper, that's too much.
What?
No.
Ugh.
I demand answers.
I don't want to deal with kanji text. That's it. That's the only thing. No, it's because it's. I'm not gonna fucking play it ever. I don't.
You can delete it right
Sit
after
down
we're
for a
done.
nice afternoon of Battle Raper.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
come
think
home
I'm.
from work.
There's no purpose. Like I feel kind of like weird playing it, like I do when I play all these other games at first, and then I get like into them. I don't think I could get into Battle Raper. I don't think that's a game that I could.
But you
like,
love
try.
fighting games.
Yeah, I love fighting games. Let me plug in my fight stick and play some Battle Raper.
Sounds like a good old
Do you
time.
think Battle Raper has fight stick support?
It's on the computer. I can support whatever I want. And joypad her, and I just set the up and down keys, up and down arrows to the stick. Speaking of which, let's go on the topic of Ouya for a second, Fred.
Oh yeah, that Ouya, which changes nothing in the game industry at all.
But Android games on your television.
Oh, you mean just like if I had an HDMI cable for my phone?
Yeah.
Or if I have a tablet with an HDMI output?
It changes nothing about the game industry.
Yeah, but I told you about the controller and about how the analog sticks on it.
It only has two.
Yeah, it only has 2 hit spots on each up and down and diagonal. It has huge fucking dead zones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't they delay it to fix that though?
Yeah, something like that. But like, they're delaying a $100 console.
What was a Kickstarter?
It's $100 console.
Yeah, it's not even a console though. It's just an Android box.
Yeah, it's an Android box.
I'm not the
Can't
Steam
you
box.
put your
I'm gonna
cigarettes in
root
it?
it. I'm gonna root it, and I'm gonna remove ads from it. If I buy one, this is all technical.
This is all hypothetical.
Yeah, this is all
In
hypothetical.
an alternate
Can't
universe.
you open it
Yeah.
up and put your cigarettes in there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why you're what?
It's an Android console. You open it up and you put your cigarettes in there.
Why is
While
that?
they're still lit, that way you can get to them later.
I don't get it.
What?
I don't get the joke.
The Ouya has tons of space inside of it. It's literally like a chip on a board that goes inside of a big square box,
Oh.
and you can just like open it up and make changes or like put other hardware in it or whatever. It's supposed to be like
Well, that's
completely
cool.
moddable, and yeah, I like that. I like the kind of like open source thing of it because apparently if you mod your Xbox, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
Well, if you
And,
buy
um,
used games, you're part of the problem.
Well, yes, but
Fred, I think that you relate too much with Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
you pull way too many things from that.
I'm just saying that's a good analogy. And a good analogy is a good
Many
analogy.
You know,
things-
Pikmin
many things
reminds
can be
me of-
comparable to
of
Nazi
slavery?
Germany.
No, Pikmin reminds me of a mixture of slavery and Auschwitz,
Yeah.
and that's really all I have to say about that.
Jesus
Is
Christ.
anybody even interested in Pikmin anymore?
Pikmin 3.
I am.
Pikmin 3's coming out.
And Matt Matt's freaking out about it.
Matt, you're the
I'm
only.
not freaking
think
out
any-
about it. I'm just saying.
That's not freaking out. What are you talking about,
That's
man?
a big
Yeah,
Nintendo
he just asked if
title.
anybody cared about it, and all of us are just like, It's like, yeah, I am. I'm excited about it.
Did you guys not like Pikmin 1 and 2?
I'm mad hype. I'm mad hype.
Did you guys not like Pikmin 1
Pikmin
and 2?
3, a possible sequel to Pikmin 2.
It's
No,
a game, but it's not like something you look
it
forward
doesn't look
to.
like it's that like drastically different.
Pikmin
Pikmin fanfiction? No.
Pikmin fanfiction.
Oh my god.
Please.
We're gonna have to just add sexual.
Sexual Pikmin?
Pikmin erotica.
Yeah, erotica. That's it.
We need to know how they.
I just need to
reproduce.
cut right to the juicy stuff.
Just leaves.
Can we
This
just
is
have a whole
leaves caressed
section
my
on
hand.
our show where we just read erotica of different video games?
Oh, absolutely.
No.
Please?
I'm not being involved in that.
Yeah, Matt, you remember Dopefish's
The
Sonic
ones?
erotica?
Oh, that was great.
That was
Sonic erotica is fantastic.
Sonic erotica.
Yeah.
This is so
Oh, God.
sad.
between Sonic and Tails.
Oh
it was
god, there are
horrible.
pictures now. By the way.
Why are there pictures?
Roll 34.
Someone did. Oh god.
Empress Booblax is so sexy. Pikmin 2 message board. It's a
Oh.
message board on GameFAQs.
Oh my
This is
God.
why Slab was excited for Pikmin 3.
For all that erotica fanfiction, it's gonna come out right
You know
after.
what?
It's just a resurgence of fanfiction you've been waiting so long for.
I will say that I did love Pikmin 1. It was one of my favorite games on the GameCube.
Okay, so what's the
Um,
problem?
Pikmin 2 was cool and all.
It gave you 2 new Pikmin.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 that you have, that's almost double your Pikmin.
It's still not like a drastic improvement on the game.
And I did like that it didn't have the 30-day limit, and you could like do it whatever.
Yeah.
Like yeah, that was cool and all. But like the third one, I'm not so like super looking forward to it. Yeah, it's cool and I'm definitely gonna buy it, but it wasn't like Luigi's Mansion 2 where I was immediately. I still don't have it. I mean, but I mean, there you go.
Great comparison.
I haven't even bought that yet. Like Pikmin, I'm probably
I'm
not gonna
actually
buy
picking
until
that up
like
tomorrow.
a year until after it comes out.
I mean, I don't have a Wii U, so I'm not obviously going to play the game, but
Yeah.
I'm interested to see the gameplay.
Just get a Wii U and then
No.
buy Zombie U.
Why? Because you have 4 games for it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus,
You have the whole catalog.
The culture of fanfiction is fascinating.
It is very terrifying.
Yeah,
It's awful.
very terrifying and awful.
When Louis
was that
tells
one?
Olimar of a new area near the forest Navel to explore, they immediately travel there. Rated T for character death.
They kill off all of them.
Spoiler alerts.
That's so hardcore, dude.
The Pikmin eat him alive.
It's new Cannibal Pikmin.
Well, back to the Ouya.
No. Let's talk
Let's
about
go
a
to the
different
Steam
topic.
box.
Ouya is done.
Oh,
The
okay.
Steam box,
Steam
the
box.
I don't even think a Steam box is necessary.
But the
It's not. It's
It's
called a
not.
PC.
you can either get a PC or you can get like on live. I'm waiting for like on live to like really take off.
I have an old.
I don't think it will ever.
I
have
it
it
definitely
on
has
live.
potential.
Half-Life 3.
The games don't work for
Steam
it at
box
all.
exclusive.
They don't.
No, I tried
Only
running
way
home
you can
from
play
it,
Half-Life 3 is on the
chugs.
Steam box.
Yeah, games on
It's something you have to have like a ridiculously good internet for down here. Like,
I
if
have-
you don't have like an awesome internet, then
I have
it's not.
FiOS, but my internet's still pretty fucking slow sometimes.
That's another issue with digital distribution, though. Is like so with Xbox One, what was the maximum hard drive sizes they were talking about? Like 600 gig, or was it even less than that?
I think it was 500.
I think it was 500.
Didn't watch that
I
shit.
just kind of spaced out whenever we talked about like, because honestly, I love video games, but when it comes to like hardware specs or shit like that, I'm very casual. I want to buy a system. I don't want to have to worry about
I know
fucking
me and
with
me and
it.
Ethan are hardcore about it.
I know you guys are, but I'm from the other
Yeah.
side of the coin. Like I
Yeah.
want to buy a console, and that is all I want to buy for the console, hardware wise.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless of that,
Although
just for
hard
gameplay,
drive space though is
exactly.
the one thing that I can talk about because like the PS3, I run out, especially with the PlayStation Plus shit. Like I download so many games for free, which is awesome. But I
PlayStation Plus is the tits.
yes, it's great. I don't know why you don't want it either.
I don't buy into subscription things. I can't.
Okay.
I don't like.
You buy it like a
I know, but
Yeah,
I
it's
don't.
like
I don't
$6.
want to. I don't want to have a game and play it, and then not have it anymore. That's why I buy games on disc all the time. Is like
Well, that's true too. But
once you download a PlayStation Plus, you keep it though.
like if a
well,
game is really,
you-
really
you have to keep your
once your
subscription,
subscription
I
runs
think.
up, you lose the game. You lose
Yes.
access to the game until
That
you
is
use your
true.
subscription.
I don't have it because
Well,
I don't play my PlayStation 3 as much as I do like PC.
If it's a game that's so fantastic, I'll buy it when it comes out. Like The Last of Us, I'm not going to wait for
Yeah, that I
PlayStation Plus
plan
for
on.
free. I get the physical copy of that disc. Sleeping Dogs was something I was interested in, and it came out for PlayStation Plus. I got it for free. I've put in like 60 fucking hours into that game. I love it. And like, I just don't like this move where you can like grab someone's head, put them in a headlock, and then elbow their throat. And like, I just saw some random woman on the street. I did that, and her body just crumbles in the street, and people just walk by. It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I love in that game that like if you just murder random people in the streets, especially women, they don't care. Like it's just normal in Chinese culture. Yeah, like,
And plus, I love how like for the flying kick, you can just run and fucking kick somebody in the chest.
And they just keep
You
running.
keep
Yeah,
doing
you keep
it?
running,
Yeah.
and then you do it, and then the game actually starts a counter for you. Like, how many innocent people can you kick without getting caught?
Yeah.
Let's see how much you can do.
yeah, I mean Sleeping Dogs is excellent. I
It's
really
fantastic.
think that was
That
out
was
of-
a Square Enix game too.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
like Tomb Raider is. I wish it would do so well.
Yeah,
The-
they get good reviews and everything. It's
Yeah.
they just don't sell.
Didn't the
enough.
head of Square Enix America just get fired?
the CEO.
Of America, of the American division.
Maybe
I-
that's probably a thing. I know John Riccatello left EA.
Yes.
No, wasn't he asked to leave?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Which is bullshit because he, like, at least from what I've heard, like, he was the one actually fighting for all the good shit.
He
Probably why
talked.
they asked him to leave.
Yeah, he talked a lot of good shit.
Mhm.
But here's what I believe happened with that: is that John Riccatello, there were a lot of things that he was against, but because of the business practices and everything, he's like, some of these things aren't really, we can't get them to work right now, or like, I can't get this publisher to want to do this and that with me, and we're gonna do things this way for now. And even though, like, yeah, he knows what the gamers want, he knows that certain things will work a certain way, he also knows that games will sell still. And he just, even though there were a lot of things he was fighting against, when they ousted him and they switched everything over, I think they were like, okay, we're going to pretend like Riccatello was actually the issue this entire time.
Oh, of course. That's absolutely
And
what they did.
because they were immediately like, we're dropping online passes for all our games, and all the games that had online passes, on Xbox at least, you could download the free code. So like, if you bought a disc, rather than paying for the online pass online, you just got the code for free now.
Yeah.
And it's like, you do that right after you get rid of Riccatello, it's obvious what you're doing, and it's obvious that your business practices are not going to change the way they should.
See, I didn't have too big of an issue with online passes though, because like yes, like used copies that developers don't get any money, but like it doesn't lock you out of the entire game. It just locks you out of like say multiplayer or just ranking up to certain higher ranks in multiplayer. I didn't see it as like that big of a thing because
It's online pass.
it's really only if you want to play the game online.
I still thought it was shitty. I thought it was a shitty thing to do. You're purchasing a game that has content on the disc, but it's locked out.
Yeah, I can see it. that way, too.
You're purchasing the content.
Yeah.
You're just not allowed to use it. It's the same thing with the on-disc DLC. That's why when Street Fighter Cross Tekken came out, even though it was the hypest shit in the world, I didn't buy it.
It was bad. I didn't like
Ethan
it.
should be
love it.
concerned about
I
this.
didn't like it at all.
No, I get that from M&T all the time.
Okay.
Every,
I liked
every
it 'cause
single
it was-
time I do mobile banking, I get that.
I liked it because it was more of the Street Fighter fighting style, which I am a big fan of because fucking Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you see my God box, you
Yeah.
know I love it.
yeah, but I don't know. It felt like they took Street Fighter and then sped it up times 10.
Mhm.
Like it was a really fast like fighting game, and I
So it was
just
like Street Fighter Turbo.
yeah.
I mean, Street
kinda.
Fighter was
Except-
already fast. The engine on it was. I mean, it works off of the, Super Street Fighter 4. It's the same engine, but it's tweaked and it's different to make these Tekken characters fit and to make some of the Tekken like moves
Yeah.
and combos kind of work.
But I don't know.
And
it
I
just
enjoyed
felt
that.
weird to me.
I liked it because it was different. I didn't want Super Street Fighter 4 2. I wanted.
I mean,
a
yeah, I
new
didn't
game.
want that either, but I don't know. It was different, but
I
in a
definitely
way
still-
that I could not change my playstyle to.
Okay, I definitely still prefer Super Street Fighter 4, but I like Cross Tekken for what it is.
I mean, Kuma.
Yeah, everybody
Like,
does.
like, because Kuma.
Kuma. Kuma's the only reason.
Well, Law, because he's hilarious.
and in Cross Tekken he's super good.
What pissed me off about Cross Tekken also was that, like, I was playing Street Fighter 4 and I heard Cross Tekken was coming out and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have all my favorite characters. I'm gonna have Ibuki, Dudley, and Makoto. And Makoto and Dudley are fucking DLC characters that you have to buy in a DLC pack, along with some other Tekken characters that I sort of know.
Dudley the fat one?
Dudley's
No,
the boxing
black guy.
British guy, who's my favorite fucking character in the entire game.
The name Dudley just makes me think of a retarded dog.
Dudley?
Yeah, well, my grandparents used to have this
I
dog
think of
named
Harry
Dudley
Potter.
that was actually like a retarded dog. And he bit my sister, so they killed him.
Well, that's like the opposite spectrum of like a
I
black
don't know why
boxing
we're
British
laughing at
guy.
that. That's something not to laugh at.
No, that's pretty funny.
That's
actually.
horrible.
That's actually the funniest thing
That's
I've
because
heard
you
all
have a
night.
horrible sense of humor, Ethan. You're
Apparently
awful.
so.
You're
So
an
I was
awful
telling
person.
Slappo.
Hence me
This is
playing.
completely off track. I was telling Slappo one
God.
time when we were in a Five Guys. I started giggling and he looked at me. He's like, "What are you laughing about?" And I was like, "You ever thought about just like walking up to a man that's married? He's obviously married and flirting with his wife, and she's like coming on to it, like
Like right in front of him.
Yeah, like right in front of him." Just doing that and taking control and showing your dominance over him.
And I'm like, no, dude, that's fucked up. He's married to her. He's gonna have to go home and like deal with that. He's probably gonna beat her when he gets home or something. If that's how he deals with it.
I thought that was hilarious to the point of where like my eyes started watering.
He's sitting there cracking up in the Five Guys, and I'm like, dude, that is so fucked up.
I thought that was pretty
That's
fun.
not something a normal human does.
No, it's a hilarious.
Something an amazing human does.
Well, apparently I wasn't doing human things all night because we went to Red Lobster and I smashed that glass on the countertop. Everybody's looking around like
What the fuck is this guy doing? They weren't serving us.
Yeah, I had to make
What
noise.
happened?
We like walked into Red Lobster to pick something up, and they're like, "Oh, okay, the takeout counter is just kind of our bar, so just head over there and they'll help you out." So we sat there. We sat there for like a good 5-10 minutes, and then Ethan takes this like glass, it's like upside down turned, and he like starts clanging it on the counter, and everyone like turns around like with like distraught looks at him, like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Some
And then
lady
somebody
yells in the kitchen, "We'll be right out." And the funny thing was, like, there were people all in front of us, right? There wasn't room for me to stand at the bar, so I had to actually reach past somebody to grab it. But, fuck. Anyway, speaking of the topic of fighting games, who here is excited for Dive Kick?
Me.
Kind of.
I'm super
I-
excited.
What? I still don't.
It's
Kick.
just a parody of like Street Fighter dive kicks.
Dive Kick is a 2-button fighting game
The
that's
most OP
mad
move
hype.
in all fighting.
It's a one-hit kill system, and you just have one button to jump and one button to dive kick.
It's so good. It's gonna be the hypest shit
When
in the
does
world.
that come out?
I don't know, and I can't wait.
I can't wait for the little arcade pads to come out. For
Yeah,
it, and
the
it's just
arcade
two
pads.
big-ass
It's like a yellow and a blue button. And you just it's gonna be so good.
I think we covered everyone except for one other person at E3, one other major player at E3, Sony.
Okay, well,
As we
Sony.
said, Sony's just gonna show off their new things for the PS4.
All the great games.
Yeah,
They're
that's
probably gonna
basically
actually
it.
show off
And all
a
the
physical
original
console
stuff.
now.
No.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
I don't
think
want
that
them
they're
to
going to
have to.
showcase the power of the console just to shove it down Microsoft's throat.
What if it's not like it could be able to like be contained in a box?
So it's just like raw energy.
It's raw energy that you.
How do you buy that? Though? How do you purchase that?
It just kept in a glass sphere.
It's
to stand up.
and when you get home, you release it into your home, and then you pick up your
Power
controller,
PS4
Your
takes
whole
over.
house turns into a PS4.
and you just take your controllers and whatever TV you're looking at, that starts playing games.
Well, I mean, speaking of the power of it, the Xbox ES RAM rumor that we were talking about, that was apparently because like they use the DDR3 RAM, like which is current and everybody uses it, but it's
So do you mean that because of this, I won't be able to see my Call of Duty dog in 1080p?
With that
HD.
awesome fish AI.
maybe
Fish AI.
the
The
fish AI.
That sweet ass
That
fish.
Mario
They're like,
64
oh, we came up
fish
with this
AI.
new AI system where the fish move away from you when you swim closer. And I'm like, nigga, that shit's been done since Mario 64.
Yeah.
I'm watching a Dive Kick trailer. It looks amazing.
Dive Kick is going to be so good.
apparently you can get headshots, and then it
Yes.
slows
Yeah,
people
yeah,
down.
headshots.
And then after a round, it gives you grades for diving and kicking.
What about the new Skullgirls characters?
What's a Skullgirl?
Skullgirls?
The fighting
Is
game.
a
So-
fantastic fighting game done by an indie developer.
It was you and Fred, right? Or was it other people?
What, that played
Was it-
Skullgirls?
We were playing here.
I believe it was just me and Fred. That was the day when we tested CSI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was just me, you, and Fred, and you guys hadn't played it before, and now it's like the most hyped thing ever.
Yeah. They've got like
So-
3 new characters coming out.
Yeah, I know.
And one of
'Cause
them's a
the
guy, which I think is dumb.
Big man.
Yeah, whatever.
I would have liked for it to stay all female.
All female. It's called Skullgirls.
Yeah.
The
And
theme is tits.
I don't
and
really get like
fighting.
the story of like he's supposed to be a Skullgirls hunter or whatever.
Yeah, I
think that's kind of dumb, but I'm just excited to have more characters in the game.
That's
Yeah.
a really good name.
I mean, I'm still like excited about Injustice, and it's already out.
When are they? They already had some characters come out for that.
Batgirl.
game.
Yeah, Scorpion.
Scorpion
Yeah,
got
they're
announced,
coming
but he's
out
not
with
out
Scorpion.
yet.
Yeah, Scorpion got announced.
Like
Logos.
Mortal Kombat Scorpion? No.
Yes,
Will we
Yes.
finally be able to
Yes.
fatality niggas?
maybe. I don't think so.
I've seen his move. He like stabs with his chains and whips him around and slams him in the walls and stuff. So it's not like fatality.
Oh, that'd be cool if you
Great
sent them
mind.
to
I don't
hell.
think in a DC fighting game they'll ever do fatalities, because in Mortal Kombat versus DCU,
They totally did that though.
No, they didn't.
no, they did not.
No, they actually took out some of them because they were so bad. Like they
The
took
Joker
out
shot a
Joker.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they took that out.
It's
That was one of
it's
the
all
two-
different now. Mortal Kombat versus DCU, I like it. It's fun. It's a good fighting game, and it gave us Mortal Kombat 9 and Injustice. So props to that. But the biggest complaint about it was the lack of fatalities, and I understood why they were in there. And there's never going to be a DC fighting game where Superman gets his head ripped off.
That's all I want in
It's
life.
never going to happen
That's it.
ever.
That is all.
Just to have his spine like ripped out with his head.
The Superman Unbound movie was great.
I still need to watch that.
yeah,
very,
that's
very
the one I
good.
watched that one.
Superman vs. the Elite was good too. They've had a lot of good Superman shit, I guess, leading up to the film.
Well, Zack Snyder's Superman.
I'm so convinced that basically
That's what
they're
America
letting
is.
Zack Snyder like make a pretend movie, like he's in a different studio and then they're shooting a real movie.
With Christopher Nolan. No, here's what I think is happening, and I talked about this before on a run night that I'm not sure if you were there for it, Craig. It was, I believe that Christopher Nolan is taking a director that he thinks has great potential and has done a couple good things, but they're not great things. I mean, the Dawn of the Dead remake, as a zombie fan, I thought it was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
But like Watchmen, on the other hand,
I like it.
and then Sucker Punch, no.
That
And
was so bad. That was so,
Like,
I was so
I told
excited.
you too the entire time. I
was so
told you it was
excited
going to
for
be
that
bad.
movie,
No.
And then I watched it, and I was ready to forgive some things, but then I couldn't.
well, I mean, that's
he
like
was just asking too much of you.
Yeah, it was that movie.
that's
was
like
asking
it was
way
like with the
too
new Star
much.
Trek, where I wanted to enjoy
I
it.
like the new Star Trek.
I wanted to enjoy it, and there were so much things I didn't enjoy about it. Like,
Well,
I-
luckily, I get by being a casual fan with a lot of stuff, and I think it helps me enjoy a lot of stuff because I've never watched the old like Star Trek TV shows or movies or anything like that, so all this is new to me. And JJ Trek,
I liked the first one though, and the issue was.
the 2009. sorry.
Yes, the issue that I had was I was like really into Trek. Like I've watched all of the original series multiple times. I've watched the animated series. I watched TNG tons of times. I've watched a lot of Deep Space Nine all the way up until like when Worf is on there and everything. I remember some Voyager and some Enterprise from when I was younger. But like I watched the 2009 Trek and immediately was turned off by it. And then I watched it a second time and was like, okay, I can kind of appreciate this. And then I enjoyed it. The beginning of it was terrible. But then I enjoyed the rest of the film. And this one was the exact opposite. It came on and it had a strong opening. And I'm like, oh, fuck yes. This is the best cold open
Yeah.
of any movie I've seen
yeah.
recently at all. And then immediately we're going into characters getting decommissioned and then getting their promotions back in 3 minutes because everybody dies.
But
And we're getting into like the themes of family and friendship and kinship being brought up and then not expanded upon. And we're brought up with a villain that right at his climax disappears for 30 minutes in the movie. Like, I was so fucking turned off and unhappy by all that. And when I first originally left the theater, I was like, you know what? I am okay with what I saw. And then as I thought about it, I was like, I'm not okay anymore. In fact, I'm furious.
Now that my brain has worked.
Now that I processed that film, I was like, originally when I went to that theater and I left, I was expecting something like this, and because I got something like this, I was happy. I shouldn't have been. I should have wanted something better, and that's why I'm unhappy.
I just really liked it. I'm a sucker for like anything space, sci-fi,
Well, yeah,
lens
but
flary. Like
It was just I had too many questions to be entertained, and I had so many like, oh fuck, why did they bother doing that? That I wasn't entertained at it, and you know, with all of these things, video games, movies, it's regardless of how good or bad it is, I want to be entertained. That's what matters to me. I love bad video games because they're hilarious.
Yeah.
I want to be entertained. If I watch a bad movie, I want it to be fun. You know?
yeah.
Like Fear of Clowns.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the
Or
funnest movie.
Zombie Hunters, City of the Dead.
Oh man, they need to make the second season. No.
Sony at E3 should do a actual, like, here's what our console looks like. You are going to be playing test demos on our console here today.
And then just show a shit ton of games.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah,
know,
shit ton of
they
games.
know
You just sit
that
back and,
Microsoft
like,
can't do
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Let the system
let
speak for
nature
itself.
take its course.
Yeah, I mean, well, anyway, with what I was saying earlier about the RAM being like the Xbox using the DDR3, and Sony went with the I believe it's like GDDR5. Or it's like,
GDDR5.
yeah, and it's just more expandable. But like when they first started producing it, you know, it was really risky, and they only had like 2 gigs of RAM originally when they were talking about it,
Yeah.
and they moved it up to 8, and now Microsoft is having those RAM issues or whatever is rumored. So, like, they already have a console that everybody knows is the most powerful console out there. That's not going to be a problem at all. You know, it's no longer about the hardware or the specs of the console. At this point in time at E3, it's about the games. It's about making sure people know that the console is actually out. Like, we have a working console. We're not... Xbox, they're probably going to be doing, like, all of their demos are either going to be done through PC or, like, ripped open, spread apart fucking dev kits that are not final versions of the console. If PS4 is a final version of the console, I mean, it's still technically a prototype, things are still going to change, but if they have a finished box-looking console, that will be a very good-looking thing for them.
What it comes down to, for both sides, like I said, when we started this, is that Microsoft, as much as they fucked up, what was it, last week? As much as they fucked up last week, they still can make up for it depending on what they show here at E3.
It'll be damn hard.
It's damage
It's
control.
damn hard.
It's damage control
It's
at this
going to
point.
be damn hard.
Unless
and damage
Xbox
control.
One was just a joke.
No.
Unless they release an actual console.
They pull
They
a
come
Kojima
out.
on
They
us.
come out. Yeah, they come out and they say Kojima was behind it.
Kojima comes out and he's like, it's Metal Gear Solid 5. All of
Also,
was also Metal Gear
I
Solid.
give him props.
they put Metal Gear
It'd
Solid
be the
4.
first time he actually took it.
If you rearrange the letters of Xbox One,
He's
it
like, I got
spells
you fuckers this time.
MGS5. No, it doesn't, Kojima.
Sure it does. I don't know English
The
letters.
Xbox One only plays Metal Gear Solid 5.
It's the Metal Gear Solid 5 console.
Yeah.
It's the Metal Gear.
The first time he actually got us all.
Well, I mean, Konami has said that when Kojima revealed that it was actually Phantom Pain, Konami was like, yeah, it's going to be 2 separate games. You know, you're going to get Ground Zeroes for the PS4 for PS3, and you're going to get Metal Gear Solid 5 for PS4. And then Kojima's like, no, you're not. They're the same game. And then Konami was like, I guess they're the same game. And then Kojima comes out with another statement like, Ground Zeroes is the prologue. And it's like, wait a minute, so is this going to be like on the disc? Like
Metal Gear Solid 2?
Yeah, like in Metal Gear Solid 2? Or is this completely separate? And Kojima's like, so anyway, let's talk more Phantom Pain. It just... Konami has no fucking clue what's going on with their own games. Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
No,
This was it. Xbox, if they show some ridiculous shit, and if they
if they show some like awesome, cool original IPs,
if
cool
Halo
5.
If Halo
Shut the
5
fuck up.
is
They
the
show
most
Halo,
ridiculous,
Gears of War.
well, you know they're gonna show you Halo in something. It's gonna be the TV show. The first
I don't
half
know.
of the conference is gonna
Halo
be 30
5,
I don't
Gears
know.
of War
They
5, Jazz Jackrabbit
Peter
4.
Because
Forza.
Halo 4 and the Gears of War entry both came out like really, really close to the end of the Xbox 360's life cycle.
That's
People
true.
aren't going to be
Yeah, I
ready
know.
for another one of those
I know.
games. So what the fuck do they have?
That's what
Forza.
I'm talking about. They
Yeah.
have no other exclusives.
Blinks the cat.
Forza and Fable.
Blinks.
That's about the
Yeah.
only.
Oh, the Fable Anniversary Collection.
Yeah.
That's
For
not a new
360.
IP though.
But
and then,
still, I
and
want
then,
it.
well, yeah, absolutely, because Lost
Technically,
Chapters
it's
is
a new
great.
IP every time you play.
Yeah, they announced today that they might be making like a remake of Fable 1.
Yeah,
No,
it's-
they
should
are.
be really.
yeah, it is. That's going to be on the anniversary. I have
Nah.
fucking Lost Chapters.
Yeah,
And
I
I
still
Xbox
have
Collection
not
itself.
beaten 3,
I've got Lost
and I don't
Chapters
think
on my
they
Steam
ever
box.
will.
I had an issue getting far in 2 because all the motion blur. I was getting sick. Like I physically couldn't play the game.
Oh, I fucking
There was
hate
too
motion
much
blur
motion
games.
blur.
can't
I would be
stand
standing still and like move the camera, and it would just fuzz, and my head would get so bad, and I'd just have to turn the console off. I've still yet to get like more than 40 minutes into the game, and I bought the DLC for it, like, and I can't play it.
Have you guys ever watched that show, Home Movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Squiggly Vision in the first season. It was fucking awful. I don't know why Brendan Small thought it was a good idea. Just to make every character squiggly lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just like
It's easy to animate.
What about
Blinks.
No, they're
When's
not
the
doing
time?
it.
When's the time
It's not
to
gonna happen.
make a comeback?
Make a comeback.
They really like need to bring it back though.
They should, because
Because
it had that cult
cult
status,
status,
and
yeah.
right now, like launching that as the Xbox One's like
They also need some type
premium
of
game.
exclusive aimed for younger audiences
Voodoo
because they
Vince.
have like Halo and Gears of War.
Well, they're doing
that's much more.
they're doing a Killer Instinct game, right?
I thought you were about to say something else.
That
I was
should
gonna
be
hit you.
Oh, you mean the Banjo Pilot
Shut
sequel?
the fuck up.
All right, so
Fuck up. God damn it.
Let's
just
bring this up.
yeah, just for the record, I had read and had watched a thing about them doing for the new Xbox before they even did the reveal a Banjo Pilot sequel set in the Nuts and Bolts universe.
Why in the Nuts and Bolts universe?
Because Nuts and Bolts is the new Banjo
It's
universe. It's canon now.
oh, fanfiction.
Oh my God.
You figured just for like
Well,
just for the game itself to not make a shitty game, bring it back to the old like thing.
what I thought they were going to do was it would be a Nuts and Bolts, like you create the cars, but now you're creating the planes. And it's Banjo Pilot, you make your own planes, you do the races.
That's so fun.
Well, apparently, it's actually a completely new Banjo game, and that's just a small part of it.
Oh, well,
And-
fuck
Oh,
me.
just-
How dare I have questions?
And I thought that was hilarious, though, Craig, when we were talking about it. We were like, why would you think that that was even a game? Who could possibly... Why would they greenlight a Banjo Pilot sequel?
Because the entire time of the development, somebody had to have been constantly reinforcing the fact that somebody thinks it's a good idea. Is it another Banjo-Kazooie game? Great! Yes, let's make that. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts? Yes! Perfect!
And a sequel to an obscure
But I
GBA
don't
game?
want to do cars again.
Let's do planes.
Let's do planes.
We already did planes. Sequel.
Yes.
Sequel.
I'm going to give you $2 million.
They're playing Nuts and Bolts, and then they were tired of it, whatever. Start playing Decon Racing. Wait, he drives cars. He flies planes too. We can do that. We can do this.
Oh, no.
It's new. It's new.
Like, but Xbox, if they can show some really ridiculous and cool games to make up for the fact that their reveal was so ridiculously bad.
They can't. They don't even have working prototypes. I looked at a fucking video yesterday. You know the UI video that they showed off?
Yeah,
That was not real time.
of course not.
In fact, it was edited. The transitions from the UI are apparently like so fucking jagged that they had to edit it to make it look right when they showed the fucking video off. Like that's how they want it to look, and that's probably how it'll look at launch. But you know, for a reveal that happened a fucking week ago, they didn't have a working fucking UI. And now they're having, if rumored, they're having these issues. Like, they're going to be doing not real consoles. They're going to be doing, like, huge expanded fucking single box dev kits that have fans all inside of them, and they're not real, and they're not going to be able to fucking show anything off. I want to see a console on a stage that they put a disc into, and it fucking pops up on the screen. That's what I would like to see, because that's how I know that everything's going to work smoothly.
So you know everything's okay.
It's
like
like
the first Connect, they couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you're supposed to...
Xbox, what?
What?
What? What's up, man?
Did you say something? Fuck.
Speaking of Connect, why does the new one always have to be plugged in? So the government...
Because it's eviler.
I have this horror story where it's like, you don't want to play anymore, and you like get up from your couch, and it's like, please sit down, John. And then it turns red, and it says, please sit down, John.
You try and turn on your PlayStation 4. I can't allow you to do that.
Don't do
I'm
that.
afraid I'm afraid I can't do that
power
now.
strip, and it sends a surge back to kill it. No, it's like the government wants to watch you order pizza. The government wants to watch you masturbate on your couch. The government wants to watch you like do this and that. And regardless, even if that's true, the fact that somebody is still kind of ridiculous. I think it was like in Germany.
And they said like it'll like read and like detect how many people are in your room and like increase the price of like renting movies and stuff like that.
What?
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It'll also notify the police when you're doing illegal activities, and if it sees any guns, it will send descriptions of them to the police, so that way SWAT will come in and fucking
No, it
murder.
won't.
I don't think it'll get that.
No, you cannot fucking tell me that it wouldn't ever get that ridiculous, because they were talking
could,
about...
But I don't think it will.
Well, they can see black people now with it.
Yeah, now
What?
they can actually see black people.
I still call bullshit on that.
The iToy couldn't see black people. And then...
The original Connect.
Yeah, the original Kinect couldn't either. Well, by iToy, I meant the PS2 one. That's where it started.
Yeah.
Because you just couldn't see black people unless they were against a white wall.
Remember that dumb iToy game where you fucking run on like little hoverboards?
That was cool.
iToy was
That
fun
was
for a
fun.
day.
Yeah.
That was cool.
They should make another Conker's Bad for a day.
That's
For the
but
Xbox
that
One.
falls
They
under
really should, but
Microsoft,
yeah, that
which falls under
that
Rare,
under
which
Rare, Microsoft,
look at what they've done to Banjo.
Well, yeah,
Well,
Look
yeah,
at that
but-
and tell me that they
but
should
they
do
haven't
something new
touched-
with Conker.
They haven't touched Conker in a long time.
They didn't touch
lot
Banjo
of
for a
the-
long time either, Craig. And look what happened to that.
a lot of the people from Rare that worked on Conker, though, are getting excited about Conker.
Yeah,
They had that gameplay that had like 3 different designers of
You
Conker
motherfucker.
Yeah.
work. They did a let's play of their own game, you know, and they were talking about like, man, we really should do another game. And like, yeah, it's all fucking bullshit talk, but the possibility of a new Conker would be fucking fantastic, and I would want that more than a new Banjo-Kazooie. In fact, I would want that more than a new Killer
honestly,
Instinct.
Even if the Conker game was really shitty, I'd still probably buy it and play it just for the writing.
Yeah.
If they
Conker's
had the
writing is
same type of
fucking
crude writing,
hilarious.
Great.
I mean, that's why I bought that
Fucking
fucking dumbass Leisure Suit Larry game, because I remember the old ones and I thought they were hilarious.
Yeah.
And then I realized that the Xbox is not the console to have a Leisure Suit Larry game on. So,
Did you get a chance to play Conker?
the one that you gave me?
Yeah.
A little bit of it. And I did tell you that there's no cheat to unlock.
No, there's no swear words.
Yeah, there's no swear
it's
words.
all censored, but that kind of makes it a little bit funny.
yeah, I find like censoring sort of makes it funny.
Sometimes.
It depends. I mean,
I remember it differently, though. And then when I come back and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I can see that though.
it's still funny. It's got awesome writing.
I also want to see a new Gex.
Fuck you,
Gex
Fred.
has been dead forever. I don't think bringing Gex
Leave
back.
Gex to die.
No,
Gex left on a high note. I mean, from what I remember when I was a kid, Gex left on a high note.
I mean,
See,
the same
I
8
don't
jokes
have
in a
fond
row.
Memories of Gex.
Yes,
I played it and I don't
I
remember
love
liking
the
it.
fuck out of Gex.
How
I don't
about we
remember too
reboot
much. I just
Glover?
remember playing it all
We
the
should
time.
play some Gex at some point in time because I have 64, and if you guys want to
Yes.
listen to the same joke 8 times over and over again,
Yes.
I do.
yes, we could do it.
Can we reboot Glover and make it HD so it's just really creepy?
Oh
instead
god,
of actually
Glover was
being like a
horrific.
platformer?
No, we need a
Please.
Mr. Mosquito sequel.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Was
Yes,
that the
we do.
one where you like fucking
I remember-
mosquito.
I remember
You
buying
were
went
that
mosquito
into
game.
girls in
I
the
remember-
shower and bit their
I remember
titties?
freaking
Yeah.
pre-ordering that game and getting it the day it came out.
Do you remember the sumo bike wrestling game? Where you were
The
on bikes?
what?
No, you were on
No.
bikes, but you were on a sumo wrestling ring, and it was a sumo wrestling game, but you were on a bicycle. And then rather than like
now we're just going back to cool
no,
PS2 games.
rather than like riding around on your bike, you were literally
I don't
like
think
you
it's cool
moved
PS2
you moved
games,
like a
I think it's
sumo
crazy
wrestler, but you
Japanese
were just
ones.
on a bike.
Cool PS2
Why?
games.
Because it was awesome. You had to rotate the sticks the entire time from when the. What you had to do was the moment that the press start menu thing popped up, you had to start rotating the sticks, and you had to keep doing it. And if you did it a certain amount of times before it reset, then you would go to the sumo bike wrestling game. I remember me and my brother spent a whole day trying to get it to work, And when we finally got it, we were super excited, and then super pissed off at how dumb the sumo wrestling game was.
I think we should do a let's play of Guitar Man.
I got it for PSP, and I got PSP working on my computer now. I can record it. Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Where are we at with our little recording timeline?
Probably like
2 hours.
Probably like 2 hours.
not even. We're like an hour 30.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, I mean.
Do you guys want to call it so we can do a let's play or something like that?
Yeah, we could do that because I mean Brett's coming back later, and we can discuss other things.